Hey everyone, this is Tiqqle, and in this video we're going to do a tier list of all of the Covenant armor sets. These will be all the different colorations for all the different 4 Covenants in Shadowlands, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. Let's start with Kyrian Cloth. Now, each of the sets will have 4 different colorations. You get those by doing different things based on renown or based on completing the campaign. Now, this set in particular for Cloth, I think is a pretty typical Cloth set. Personally, my favorite out of all of these is the dark set with the blue glow through the shoulders. It looks okay. The helmet is like a typical priest Cloth helmet in my mind, so I'm not really that big of a fan of this one. I would put this down really towards the kind of neutral B level. And to me, Cloth has a lot of opportunity because there could be like a lot of flowing robes, that type of thing, but usually it is pretty cut off, and this one is kind of a typical set, and we've seen a lot of these different colors in Bastion, really, which is cool, except for the dark one. That's why I particularly like the dark one. It's a little bit different, a little bit rogue, as I would say. No, the only thing about it is the belt really, unlike the one that is white, gold, and blue, the belt doesn't really have anything going on. And then let's go ahead and switch gears to the Necrolord Cloth. This set is pretty weird. I've never seen a Cloth set that looks quite like this. It almost looks like you're part of like a Nubarak's crew. You have like kind of these tentacly arms, arms coming out of your shoulders, as well as some gems and glowy stuff up there, as well as very aggressive, what looks like horns, or you could even say eyebrows. It does look like it makes your eyes glow green, which is pretty cool. I kind of like this set as being a bit different. It doesn't really go with the flowing robes like I was talking about, or a different opportunity there. It's definitely a different type of set, looking a lot more firm, crisp, or kind of skeleton-like. I do like it a little bit, so we're going to be knocking this one up to the A tier. Now that I think about it a little bit more, I'm going to bump the Kyrian one down. The Necrolord one is cool, but I don't know if it really deserves A tier. All right, let's go next to another Cloth set. The next one is the Venther. The Venther sets are probably the coolest sets in my mind, especially because the 4 colorations are just so different. Not only kind of like the Necrolord ones, like Necrolord, you had glowing green eyes, right? For the Cloth ones, you actually have different color glowy eyes depending on what the set is. The whole sets are emanating different colors. I have one that's a bit more dark, a little bit more dark armor and cloth as well, and then you have the ones with the golden wings, but all kind of glowing red. The other ones are a kind of a more priesty looking set, which has a glow of yellow with the yellow eyes. The other one, which I think is really cool, is the blue one. This one is, or blue purple, I guess. This set in itself, I'm going to be putting up at the top tier, the S tier, because it is so distinct. It's pretty classy in terms of the coloration options, and I think it's a pretty unique looking set. Now let's go to the last one, the Night Fae Cloth. Now this set, honestly, is a little disappointing to me. I think it makes me think of Druid a little bit because of the horns and the antlers, but of course any set could technically have antlers, but to me, with the sandals and the horns at the top, the mask that's kind of wrapped around their face, I don't really get a good sense, to me, of Night Fae. It almost looks a little bit more like feathers, and with the antlers, I don't know, to me it's not really that great of a set. There is the symbol for Night Fae on the head, which is kind of cool, and the antlers themselves are cool, but I don't really think it goes with like the wrapped set. It kind of, the chest piece kind of makes me think of like a wrapped up like flower, kind of unblossomed flower, which is kind of cool. But then you have the bare arms and you have the gloves. So for this set, I'm going to actually be putting this set down into the D tier. I know some of you guys might not like this, but I'm going to be a little bit critical of these sets as I'm kind of splitting them up, because some of them are very cool, I think, very unique, very aligning to their covenants, and while others, this one might align to the Covenant, but it just doesn't really look that well, that good to me, especially because it's Cloth. Kind of having the bare arms doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. Now next, let's go ahead and jump into Leather. We'll start with the Necrolord Leather set. This is a pretty quirky set. Now, if I was thinking about this if I was to play a rogue, it's kind of weird because it looks like you're this decrepit creature almost. You have an asymmetric helmet and shoulders and gloves. It is pretty quirky and pretty cool. The different set colors are also pretty unique, except for the first and last one you see here. Otherwise, it's green or a very dark set. It's actually pretty unique. I haven't seen something like this mask or an asymmetric helmet or shoulders quite like this in a long time, really, especially one that's going to be a set. I think this goes really well with Necrolord and their themes. I like the fact that even their boots look like claws. I'm going to be putting this set into the S tier as well. I think it's very unique. It might not look aesthetically I don't know, like the cleanest, but I think it's a really cool set in itself and very unique. Even the stitching up the chest, which reminds me of the Abomination factory, etc. It's really cool to me, and the different colors really give some flair. Next, let's go ahead and go to the Kyrian Leather. The Kyrian Leather, to me, it's a typical armory set for leather. I like that the feet, if you look at all these sets, the feet are pretty distinct. That's something that is sometimes removed. And these sets, I think even on Troll, the feet are, the feet transmog is actually there. So I like the claw look here. But overall, you know, there's different colors here. But these kind of remind me, there are some sets already in the game that are, I feel like, very similar to this one. I think this is a typical leather setup. So I'm actually going to be dropping this one towards the C tier. It's just not really new to me. And to be honest, I don't really vibe on the Kyrian aspect of this. Now, maybe there's some animations or a glow here, but I don't really see that, and it definitely seems a little bit gritty, just a little bit not aligning to me. I do like the dark purple set, but again, I think there's already a lot of sets that look like that. Let's go ahead and go to the Venther Leather next. The Venther Leather actually is pretty awesome. I like the different versions of this, particularly the whitish and purple one. I think that's a pretty cool kind of comparison or kind of contrasting colors. It kind of goes with the vampire theme, which I do appreciate for Venther. But you have to look at the center one, and I don't know if this is just animations that are happening sometimes for all of these sets, but this second option has the spikes coming out. That's pretty cool, and it's pretty bloody, pretty visceral. I do like that quite a bit, but I'm not sure if that happens to the other sets, and do the other sets have spikes that are different colors, or is this some enhanced version? I'm not really sure, but because of that, I'm not going to put it quite as high. I'm going to put it along with B, being a very distinct leather set. It does, again, kind of remind me of some other sets that happened in Legion, but if they do have the spikes like the center one, and if there's an animation there, I think it would look pretty BA. Now, next, let's go to the Night Fae. The Night Fae Leather, this set is kind of quirky. Again, Night Fae, it's a little weird. It's like the Rogue or the Windwalker is in the bush. You know what I mean? There's like shoulders, have tree branches, looks very natural, and there's like buds on the side or little leaves. I'm guessing there's going to be a little bit of a glow out of that. I hope there's little butterflies that fly around. Around the gloves, similarly, are the what looks like wood or roots. It is kind of cool, but to be honest with you, the helmet and everything, it just doesn't quite vibe leather to me. Let me know what you guys think in the description or in the comments below, guys. I know there will be different views here. This is my subjective view of this, but I'm going to be putting the Night Fae Leather into the C category. Just for me, it's just not quite what I would have in mind for a leather set. Not really. I guess it does go for, like, if I was a druid, I kind of get it. But if I was a rogue or something else, I don't think it quite fits it. Especially the helmet. The helmet being kind of a circlet or something around the face. You can see that there's kind of popped collar there. It's just not really my type of thing. And if 75% of you agree with me, because I know 75% of you have not subbed, hit that sub button, hit that like button. I appreciate it. Let's keep going. That's actually it for leather. Let's go ahead and go to the Night Fae Plate next. Now, the Night Fae Plate, honestly, is probably, I think, one of my favorite sets for them. We haven't looked at the male yet, but this one makes you look like a tree juggernaut. I really like this set. The colorations are not that different. It's mostly just coloring. It's not, but kind of holistic coloring, right? So you have the white one on the left side, you have a gray one on the right, and then you have a greenish one on the third one. You know, the different colors are okay, but I really like the set. I really like that it looks like you're a defender of Ardenweld, that it goes with the zone, it goes with the trees, it goes with all that stuff, and it's plate. So plate is heavy duty, and this encapsulates all you. I don't even see a single part of you. Even your hands look like you're a little gloved up. So for this set, I'm going to be putting this up at the S tier as well. Okay. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put it one tier down because of the coloration, okay? Because the colorations are not quite changing that much across them, I'll put it at A tier. Something's got to be A, and I'll put it there. But that's what I think. I think the plate sets are really cool. Let's go ahead and go to the Necrolord Plate next. Now, this one does look pretty cool. Again, it goes towards the Necrolord lore. I almost feel like these different plate sets so far, I would almost expect these to be on the guards outside your Covenant Sanctum or in your Covenant Sanctum. So for this one, it looks like there's a very aggressive animation that's going around the shoulders and the helmet. I do like that very much. It does look like you are the Crypt Keeper of the Necrolord. Now, again, the colorations aren't very different, just slight alterations, and similar similar to the last one, I would say that that's like a little bit of a knock from my perspective. But otherwise, I think this is a juggernaut looking set. I like it a lot. I'm going to be putting this up at the A tier as well, because this set, it just, to me, I think with the animations going on as well, it's very solid. And again, this is a very heavy looking set. The belts don't really change either. I wish there was some different changes there, but that's where Plate's going to go. Does Plate always get good sets, guys? I just don't remember. Next, let's go ahead and go to the Kyrian Plate. Oh yeah, wait. Yeah, they do. This set is insane. The different color options are awesome. From the far left, pure silver. Then you go to some bronze version. Then you go to some dark version, which makes me think of like some anti-Kyrian option, or some fallen option, as I should say. And then the last one being gold. These different color options are really awesome. It's a symmetric set, fine, but it's just so Plate and buff, man. I just like it a lot, especially with the animations going on in the shoulders, aligning to the Bastion blue animation. I'm going to be putting this set at the S tier as well. I really like this set. It's just really cool, and the different color options are just so solid. I just really enjoy it. And lastly for Plate, we're going to go to Venther. Venther has a pretty complicated set. This set, listen, it's cool. I think there are some sets that are kind of similar except for the shoulders. The shoulders have gargoyles, which is very unique to Venther, very cool. It does look like the gargoyles are pretty much the same along each of them. The different color options are pretty awesome as well. I think this, again, makes you look like a juggernaut. But to me, I think the gargoyles being consistent across them kind of takes away a little bit of it. The belts are even a little bit different. So for me, this set, just in comparison to the others, I'm going to be dropping this set to about here. I'm going to be putting, I think it's cool. I just don't think it's special enough, and the gargoyles are not enough to carry it for me. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to disagree there. I think it is unique. It is pretty unique, but it's not quite there for me. It aligns with Covenant, but yeah. Next and lastly, we're going to get into the Male. Let's start with Kyrian. The Kyrian Male set is actually pretty badass looking. I would expect this to honestly be the leather set, but it's honestly a bit more metally, a little bit more heavy than I would expect for Male. Sometimes Male is really, and I know you guys know I'm a shaman main, like Male sometimes is hit or miss. It's really the wild card when it comes to sets, and this particular set looks pretty impressive, to be honest, and especially for Kyrian. We only see 2 sets here. That's all that's available right now, thank you to Wowhead. But you know, you have the gold set and you have the dark set. I personally like this set a lot, though usually we have a little bit bulkier, kind of heavier looking sets. This one does look a little bit light with the feathers. I like it, but it's not everything I want and more, so I'm going to be putting this at the B tier. Now, if you guys want to do your own tier sets, I'll be putting the link to this tier set combination. Make it and send me what you think. I would love to know. Send it to me on Twitter or on Discord. The links will be below. Would love to see it. Now, next, let's go ahead and go to the Necro Male set. The Necro Male set, some people are very excited about this. I like the helmet a lot. It really is pretty unique. The glowy eyes, the asymmetric shoulders. We love asymmetric stuff. It does look, this is a more typical Male set to me. I can see a shaman in this for sure. I can see a hunter in this for sure. This is a little bit more heavier looking, but to me, the different color options really aren't there, which is a bummer. And to me, this set it's not quite as quintessential Necrolord as I would like to see. The boots are pretty sharp, but they're pretty consistent, and they're not really that special to me. Listen, I appreciate all the artists. Let me just say that first and foremost. I'm sorry if I'm offending any Blizzard artists. You guys are incredible. This is just my view and ranking them. I just want to say that for sure. But the gloves here, I think they're pretty plain. So in that case, I'm going to be dropping the Necrolord Male down to the D tier. The helmet's badass. Everything else, yeah. Let's go ahead to the Night Fae Male now. The Night Fae Male. Listen, guys, you're gonna have to chill out. It looks like we are, some type of elk. Again, this is a set I would almost expect for a leather wearer versus what we had seen previously. I'm not really sure what's going on in the shoulders here. I haven't been able to see this in game. It does look like something's going on, but to me, the horns and the head again is cool. But it's not bold enough for me. The belts looks to be roots. To me, I'm going to be putting this one down at the D tier. It's just not quite as special enough. I think they really could have taken the helmet animation effect and put that into other places, the horns, and really taken that a little bit further, I think. Now, listen, I'm not an artist, so again, This is just my opinion. And lastly, let's go ahead and get into the Venther Male. The Venther Male, I think, is a very good set. The different color options are pretty cool. It even goes to the candles that are on your shoulder. You'll have candles on your shoulder that are burning. I've seen this set in game. I like the helmet. I'm pretty much Batman. The different, now listen, the boots and the knee pads are kind of a little awkward to me, but I do like the shoulders. I like the helmet. I like the different color options. They are just enough different. The eyes are glowing as well. A lot of eye glowing. So I'm going to be putting that set up in the B tier. Now I'm going to be serious. I was pretty critical here. I've been told that I'm a little bit lenient, but this is where I'm going to be putting the sets, guys. That's going to be my set. That's going to be my tier list, my breakdown. And I want to just first of all say thank you guys so much for watching. I want to know what you guys think though. What do you think your top 1 or 2 sets are out of this entire thing? And if you want to make your entire tier set again, check the link below and shoot it out to me. I would love to see what you guys think. And with that being said, guys, if you haven't yet, make sure to come by the Twitch stream, twitch.tv/tiqqledis. I'll be having other videos going over what's the best accessories. There's backpacks, mounts. We'll be doing all of those things. If you haven't seen the Mythic Plus or the Glad mount that is going to be in Shadowlands, you are missing out. But with that being said, guys, this is the tier list for the different sets. Let me know again, and we will see you in the next video or on this stream. Thank you all for the love. And don't forget, I love you. Press that sub button. I'll love you more. Big shout out to Mika who suggested I do this video.